I'm
Let's
laughing.
see. Channel. Videos. There it is. Channel. There we go. Okay, I've got my YouTube pulled up to my side now. So quickly to show how to do some track making that I've had a bunch of different people wanting to see as soon as these assets load in. Oh, and this is the next track I'm working on right now with the help of Hooncow, who's also wanting to collab, along with MJ Fever.
And I'm here.
And yes, I've got two guys in a call with me right now, the game and Texas. So first thing we're going to end up doing is going ahead and just whichever ramp we'd like to use, which for this, because it's easiest, I'm going to go ahead and probably use, ramp 3 is probably good. We'll drag that out, get this to either lined up where we want it to be at, so I think I'm going to have this one further into the stadium. So if you wait, I'm actually going to show you guys how to spawn in some of these extra cars as well. I'm going to go through all the steps for you. So it might get a little bit boring, but just bear with me. So first thing is just to pull them out of here, and that's how you're going to get your ramps to start out with. Let's make this a bit bigger, 0.5, a little bit wider, make this a bit taller. I think it's about how tall these usually go. Let's make this, why not, a little bit bigger. Just because I'm going to have a bunch of cars on top of this one. Let's see. I want this to be mostly as centered as I can. Around there. Going ahead and Control CV to copy and paste it. Now I'm going to go ahead and rotate it all the way around. So this is just the one ramp I'm going to be doing for this. If you guys want to see more, I can always stream again at another point. Just figured I'd get this one out here. Yeah, this will be put onto my channel.
Can you guys
Now,
hear any music or anything on your end? Because I am playing it right now and I don't even hear it.
I don't hear anything from you, no.
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure.
I don't hear it either.
Because I'm
Quiet
working
that up a
on
bit.
track stuff right now.
Now, when it comes to adding cars, you can either have this leveled off at the same as whatever your ramps are, or you could have it lower, just depends on your preference. For this one, I'm probably gonna have it the same, just because it makes it a little bit easier to see. It's about right there, I think. So let's see, inspector. Next thing is just making this to where it's just right up to the edge of this, because then otherwise, if you don't have it right up next to it, you'll end up with a nice little just straight pitfall between the two that you're gonna take forever trying to smoothen it out, making it all flat. Doesn't really work out that nicely. So let's get this a little bit. There we are. Make this a little bit bigger. Is that too much? No. Alright. Let's get that a little bit more evened out. And now here's one of the most boring parts of track making. We'll go into our terrain tools and align with mesh. So these are considered the meshes right here, and all I'm going to be doing is just filling this all in with dirt. And this is why it's considered the most boring portion. Now, one thing I will do, because this is going to annoy me, which side did I not get lined up? I'll line that up a little bit more. see, is that gonna do it? Looks like it will. Okay. Yeah, this is the most boring part of it. Trying to fill it all in.
Energy transference. Now your bionic hand will be able to absorb the energy from a power source.
Save often.
Give it a shot.
Good practice.
See, I only bother saving it once I've gotten all the dirt filled in for what I wanted to, or if for any of these ramps that I've placed, if I have like a really massive amount of ramps all filling in a bigger area, I'll save it as soon as I get it to about lined up how I want it, just in case anything does happen. But no, if it's just something like this where it's only like 3 ramps I've placed, I'm not gonna bother saving it
No.
until I've gotten it more filled in.
Mine keeps crashing, so I'm trying to save as often as possible.
Understandable.
Trying to make a freestyle track.
Texas. I was
Yeah.
going to ask, by chance, when you do make the track you're making right now, are you going to ask terms and get, possibly release it if it's good enough?
No, I'm just learning how to do this.
Oh, okay.
Now,
I
so
just
you
wasn't
guys
sure.
watching, can you guys actually hear them in the Discord or no?
They should.
I think they should, but I'm not fully sure.
I think what I'll wind up doing is asking if I can use the model and make my own. This bus. Barstow. It's a Barstow. Oh.
So player 4,
Mm.
do you agree with me with this being one of the most boring portions of it?
People are asking how you get the camper.
I saw that. It's basically spawned in the same way that I'll be doing the FPS cars, so
The short bus. Why would you get a short bus? Those poor kids. Step up van?
You can use, by the way, you can use any one of those buses. It just depends on the size of the map you're working on and where the hole is for placing.
There we go.
Right, Bryce? If I'm correct on that?
I mean, technically
Or-
it depends on where you're placing it, because
That's what I was going to also add.
if you have a hole that's got the 2 sides of it that are raised up to be past the hole, you could technically go for a longer bus, because you could just have the ends of the bus going into the dirt ramps.
Okay, that could work. Yeah.
It just depends
That
on
makes
the
a lot
hole
more
you're
sense.
using.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
I think I've gotten most of this filled in. Oh, missed another gap right here. Alright, yeah, this looks like it's mostly filled in. So the next thing we're gonna, oh yeah, I missed another portion. Next thing we're gonna do for this is going ahead and this is a little piece that I like doing it this way, just because it's easier to see for me. Oh yeah, make sure this is always set to 0.60 is one of the things that I was taught. You could change it to whatever you like. This is just what I was taught to do. And then this is how we're making those white lines for the typical lines you see on tracks.
Alright.
Now that I've
Save
got
it.
those, I'm going to go ahead and drag these down now, just so I can check to make sure I can see it visually if I have any more of those little potholes like I had on the side of the ramp.
The hell? Rain is an hour out and we're already exhausted. There's no way we're gonna be in this time.
Yes, there is.
And currently I don't see anything wrong with it, so. Now all these right here, and this is what's going to lag out my stream for probably a good second.
Why did you tell us this before?
The road, where it says road invisible right here, this is actually where you're going to use to change these to be like the chalk outlines. So let's see how bad it lags it out. Huh. Not as bad as I was expecting it to be. So that's the first one, second, and third. Now I do see how this looks a bit crooked, so one other thing we could do is going back into here, and I can just drag it over a little bit more. About there.
So I got my first
Break down a little bit.
line of
or
crush
a
cards
bit
set.
longer.
Now to see how it works.
Alright. I'm gonna go back to this one, and then a thing to make these look nicer, and you can change this to be however much you want, where it says start end fade. If you do this side, you basically are changing it to where it fades on the top half. And if I do the other side, it's the opposite side. And I can just do that to both the sides. Let's go with 7 on that one, why not? You could do the same thing on this one if you wanted to. Another thing you could do is actually taking this one, and instead of having it go all the way across, I can have it go about halfway across. And
Here, my
then
tire! Pop my
spawn
tire!
another one in. And this is how you end up having the split down these to make it look a lot more nice. Change the front side, 4, why not? And 2.5, because why not? So that's one side done.
That's a lot easier than I was expecting.
I hear the one viewer.
I thought it was more like you had to sculpt it from the ground up. I didn't think people used ramps.
For doing the white lines?
No, for making the ramp itself.
You thought we were actually raising the dirt up and everything, like just basically?
Yes, like the hard world terrain editor.
I hate it. I hate that. No.
You just made it like a simplified version. Bravo.
So the only thing that I'm gonna have to end up adjusting is this is probably gonna be too skinny for me to use the actual stubby bus. So I'll end up having to use one of the FPS Crush vans instead. That would fit this a lot nicer. Or even if I want to, I could actually just spawn in the RV again, which is actually what someone was wanting to see. So I could just spawn another RV. But let me just quickly get these decals quickly done.
Line of race cars is done. Now to build these.
5, let's go with 5.5, why not?
So it's like it's easier just to borrow a car from another part of the map.
That is how you do the ramps, the decals, to where you can have the white lines. I'll quickly show, let's see, terrain tools, terrain painter, and this is where you're going to get all your little colors for the different colors on the track, and just a simple coloring it. Shoot, too far. When I get done making this ramp, you guys gotta tell me if there's anything else that could be seen, because I'm not gonna be able to think of it off the bat like that.
I'm looking at it right now. You're still streaming?
Yeah.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
So that's coloring it, how you actually get the ramps into here. The decals.
Did we color like the top of it? Quick question.
Oh yeah, just going back into the terrain painter. Let's see, I got blue, so I could just go make this a little bit bigger.
I'm just painting. I have to fix that line there, but that's okay.
The what?
Look at the line, but on the other line over there. You kind of painted it blue over there. Probably should make that white. You see the little spot on the. There we go. Like that dirt right there.
This is just for preference, however you want it. You could either have it more yellow going into it or more blue. It's up to you.
Yeah. But yeah, and then the one side, and then you can also paint the sides of the dirt too as well. The side
I
dirt's right here.
But I usually would do the smoothing first, because as soon as if I do the smoothing and then paint it, here I'll actually show you this.
Better.
So if I paint this right now, you can clearly see that it's a straight face painting it. However,
Yeah.
if I go ahead and do the really smooth tool,
Hmm.
you'll see it pulls out the color and it doesn't look as nice anymore.
Yeah. Probably should.
That's
Let's smooth
why
them
I
in.
typically wait until after I've smoothed everything before I start painting it, because then I can
Yeah,
just
let's do
see
that.
I can see what I actually need to paint versus, oh crap, I have all this being pulled out and now I'm seeing like all the brown coming out from underneath it.
Oh, I see your point.
That's why I usually wait for that part of it. And now I guess I can show the putting vehicles on here. So I'm actually gonna get out of this editor, Control Shift F11. Whoa, just got dark. It's gonna be interesting. So up here where it says Scene Library, I'm gonna be in Library, Level, BeamNG, Vehicle. I'm just gonna name this Car and FPS Crush Pack. Create New. Now, I believe the stream is still going. So now I've got my FPS Crush car right here. I'm gonna drag that down. Drag that over, get this closer because this is the one I'm going to be using. So I don't think I want it this color, so what I'm going to end up doing is, because I have these blue ones over here still, I'm going to go ahead and change this one's color to blue. Gonna have to drag this bar all the way over, bring this to be about where I want it, and then just color it. That looks good enough to me, so I'm going to select that. Now I know I'm going to be using more than just this, so the way in this editor that you copy it and paste to the different trucks, you can't actually use Control CV because that doesn't work on this. You actually hold Shift, click the arrow, and drag. And now I've got the copy of it. I can continue doing this as much. Oh shoot, what the heck just happened? There it goes. Whoa, my camera got sped up. What the heck just happened to my camera? About there should be it.
Who joined our
There we go.
presence in here?
So that's gonna be about how I want to have these cars. Goes along with the colors I have right now.
Taste this.
I'm gonna drag that to be further towards the center. Now the last thing I'm gonna end up doing is just making one more copy of these. Now I am pretty much done with this editor, so I'm gonna go back out of this one, Control Shift F11, and F11 again. I really need to get this camera sped down, way down. Right about there's good. So I've got this one here. Now I can just use this editor because it's way nicer with the movements, not as spotty or really don't like it. That's probably gonna be good enough for this one right now. Do the same for this one, but I'm also gonna actually rotate this one because it make it looks nicer to me. Get that about centered. Now for this last car right here, I'm actually not going to keep this one as a car. I'm going to exit the editor, open up the vehicle customization, change this one to be, let's go with the dry van, why not? I'm thinking of, no, that's not what I'm thinking of, box van. So, now that I have my box van, I'm going to go back into the editor. This is just a very simplistic way of showing this too, so I'm going to pull that down into there, pull that down into there. That is pretty much how you spawn in all the FPS Crush Pack vehicles. As for these other vehicles like the RV and whatnot, all I'm going to have to do is just exit this one, Control Shift F11 back into here, Library, Vehicles, BeamNG, Vehicle. I'll name it RV2 because this one's already got RV as the name. Now, in this list, all you just gotta find is whatever the RV that you have is called. For me, this one is actually called the Fleetwood Bounder. And so I just gotta look for whatever name that one has. So
Hey, Tasteless.
where's it at?
So
So Texas is
There it is.
currently going to work
So
on
Bounder
putting
right
that
here.
skin that you sent me earlier
just create
in,
new.
in game. Because I'm going to be doing the surprise showcase once it gets.
And this is
Next up.
basically how you get this one to be in the game. The only other thing that you'll end up having to do with this is gonna be, I'm gonna exit this editor, open up the part configurator, and now we're gonna have to actually take all of these things out of here to where only gonna have the floor remaining.
Let's see.
I'll leave the horn there. So this is an empty Fleetwood Bounder. Now I can just go back into F11, drag this on over, and instead of using this one right here, I can end up just going ahead and using this.
It looks a lot better too.
So now I've got a single crush car on both sides with the RV there. Now we can just quickly test this to see how much fun it'll be. Drag that to the ground just because I can crush that as well. Do that, go back out of this, go back to that, my truck. And now I've got a nice little ramp with some vehicles on it.
it's a really big ramp.
Yeah. There's big boy.
I mean, you could angle this to be further down as much as you want it. This was just to show how it worked.
It works.
Just gonna put this here.
Sat right up on it. I didn't actually think that would fit like that.
I admit, I don't think there's a parking permit for that.
I pretty much just got myself stuck in a similar way to what Tom Entz had back in like the Old World Finals. Do you guys, or can you guys think of anything else I could show?
Not that. Maybe just how to put the cars into the hole. Like
Into
this
the
hole, for example. Yeah, like the hole, for example. You know. You know how like you showed me earlier.
into a hole is literally just dragging
Or
it down with the arrows.
I mean, like just placing. You know, correctly placing them if you can. Because I don't think you showed that, have you?
Isn't that basically like just placing them on top of something too?
The way word it.
I'm trying
to.
to.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. It's just brain's just tired, so it doesn't want to do certain things.
The most I could think of to show how for doing that type of thing is just let me pull this car to the side. If only I could select this stupid bus. Okay, there, or RV. Oh. That was not what I wanted. I'll leave that there then. Why not? So I'm gonna bring this van and make a small little gap between the two. If you're talking about this where you actually place something down into the gap right here.
That could be one. I mean, whatever.
Just to show it what you're talking about, or
Mhm.
yeah,
Hold on, hang on a
like you're
second.
wanting to have the car in the gap and you're trying to get it nice and even or whatever.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's just if you're in the above the gap like you have on other maps, you're basically just pulling it towards about center above the gap and just dragging it slowly down into there until you have it perfectly evened.
Oh, wow. Red line's on a right now.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
And I'll just center that as much as I can in there as I slowly go down. It's actually not as hard
What
as
is
you're
the-
thinking.
Hey,
Which track
Texas
is
not,
on there?
Texas
Shane?
not bad. I like that.
I don't know if anyone has anything else they'd like me to show them how to do.
How does it feel racing wise?
I don't know. This is a freestyle track.
Well, it's also got racing in the center of it if you look there.
Oh, this is the freestyle portion of it.
Let me go ahead.
Yeah, there's the
pull
freestyle portion
this
of it, but right there's the
here.
racing is what I'm talking about.
Let's pull
I
this
just
back
wanna
out
see
here,
how,
this
You know,
here.
how that does. Because if possible, that could be a map. Do you have the older version? Do you have a different version of the map?
I
just
feel like
checked
I'm
all the
making
old
this
stuff
into
off.
a cursed ramp right
Okay,
here.
because I'd love
Yeah.
to mess around with that.
I feel
The
like
only
I've just
problem
made a
is I
cursed
just
map.
don't know if it has.
Let me
I don't
see
know
that.
what
It's
kind of
more
cars
room.
it has though, or the
Crush
original
cars.
has. Oh, it
Yeah, the
does.
original
Have,
crush cars.
oh, like the original FPS ones.
I took all the old ones off and put new ones.
Oh, okay.
I think I made a cursed ramp.
Why you say that?
I was just thinking because I'd love to mess around with
You
this.
see this,
on
right?
map
Yeah.
and make like a video out of it and just have some fun. But sadly, I can't do that.
Jesus.
Got your
It's a cursed ramp. Easily clearable, but it's a cursed ramp.
You guys want to see what I made one time out of?
One time out of boredom.
Yeah.
Is it a hentai truck?
Oh my gosh. Don't say that on my
What is
stream.
your
Hey,
thing with hentai?
please don't say this stuff when I'm streaming.
My bad.
Why?
My bad.
Why am I the target?
You're not.
It's in the pictures.
No, you want to see a cursed truck?
You're making a map too?
Let me show you a cursed truck.
That was forever ago.
Proper training and supervision.
You should
This is
make it more.
the old truck of mine. Yes, a truck I made back when I was still doing skin creating. I stopped skin creating, I'm doing purely tracks now. This is my cursed truck that I made, that's still working in game.
I'm surprised it's still working considering how old it is.
Tasteless. How is that map still working in game?
Oh no, it's a screenshot that I had
That's an
because I had erased it.
Alright guys,
Uh-oh.
because I don't think anyone else has got really any questions for me on track making, I think I'm just gonna end the stream here, so if you guys want to say goodbye too.
Pretty much done, right?
Did you figure out how to put images on tracks? Like the logos?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Do you know how to do that, Bryce?
Making logos?
You know
Yeah,
how
but-
like
Where you get to put like your own logo on the track. Not like the white lines, like an actual logo.
oh yeah,
Those custom
Like the-
decals?
Yeah, there you go.
yeah.
So all that actually is just those little decal road things that I made, like the white lines. Instead of me selecting the white line, I'd actually select the picture instead.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't actually have. I don't think I actually have any custom ones on this map. I can check real fast, but I don't think I have any customs.
Hey Texas, that map pretty much done.
I don't know.
But yeah, when it comes to making all those custom little
'Cause that
lines,
looks really good.
it's
I mean,
just
like
you'd make it to whatever size you want it, drag it over, and instead of you
like
doing
that
a,
is just how you do.
instead of doing a chalk line, you would instead choose
Hey,
whichever
surprise.
one you're looking for.
When you get done streaming, take a look at Texas's map. It looks really good.
Let's see. Where's a good one to show?
Ouch.
Save it!
I wonder if Scarecrow would work.
Nice.
Let's see what Scarecrow does.
Try it. Try it.
It's a scarecrow. Win a freestyle. Race a freestyle like that. Jesus.
That's a
That's
interesting little.
cursed.
Well, that was a failure. Take number 75. I'm doing a bunch of recording
Here,
takes.
let's see what chevron is.
Oh gosh.
Chevaroon.
Yep. Oh gosh, no.
So that one doesn't work. Okay.
What? Yes, I'll go get the dog. Give me a second. I gotta go get a dog.
All right.
Let's see. Race, rally, start, finish. See, these are like the skins you would actually put onto items that you load in. They'd actually have the skins that would be with them already.
Okay.
Those I'm actually not sure on how to pull in though.
Yet.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
probably grab the little white dots and do it.
Sign arrows. Race checkered. Oh, there's your checkered race flag, I guess. Or just a checkered
It
pattern.
looks just like a PNG transparent.
It basically is.
Wow.
But this is basically how you spawn in a lot of those decals, is just here and then just search whatever you're trying to put. But that's basically how you do those. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here because I don't think there's much else I can actually show that I know how to do with this. But this is the basics of it.
Yeah.
I haven't learned all the more advanced stuff yet, so
Eventually.
I'll talk to everyone later. If you guys want to say goodbye to everyone, all
Bye-bye.
one viewers.
Adios.